Welcome to Patilapi's workshop. My name is Jim Gary. This channel is about the things I do in my shop, including restoration of a 25-year-old motorhome, my old British sports cars, tools I use, and projects I do. I release videos every Friday and sometimes on Tuesdays. If you're interested in previous videos, please look for links in the description below. We had a rainy week, so I moved from working on the brakes outside the motorhome to finishing up some interior trim work. It's mostly baseboards and vertical corners. Most of the initial interior work was done over a year ago, but there are still many odds and ends to do there. So please like and subscribe. Now, let's get on with the video. I'm back to the interior of the motorhome, and this is the living room area. I want to put the base molding in, and I've already put the corner molding all the way down to the floor. On either side, this is an inside corner, and this is an outside corner. And this is the molding. It's about 3 inches high, and it's plastic, but it cuts just like wood. And I'm not going to try to do miter joints because nothing's square in a motorhome. So what I was going to do is just butt this up to the corner molding and then mark it with a pencil. And so then what I'm going to want to do is cut an angle with my miter saw that'll just give a little bevel to this so it'll fit. Now for the inside corner, I don't really think I need to do anything. I think I'll just leave that as is. So I've got to cut the miter at an angle here this way where the blade leaves what's, in this case, behind the pencil line intact. It just cuts off this corner. And I don't really care what the angle is exactly, but I'll probably go with 45. And then I just have to position this along the miter saw in the right place to cut it. My miter saw, though, I built this dust collection system because it has dust collection off the top here, but there was really most of this dust just went straight back. So I built this little wooden box and it's attached to my dust collection hose here. And I had to screw it down to hold it in place when I'm using it. So if I can't use it, and I can only use this on 90-degree cuts, but as soon as I start beveling, I have to remove it first. So there's a Allen screw here and an Allen screw on the other side. I just have to loosen and I can take it off. I often forget, or I just get sloppy and bang it up, and I just replace it every now and again. This is my second one. I've had one on here for about 4 years, but it's pretty good. So I'm going to go out to the RV and make a measurement for the first piece and come back out here and we'll put it together. So here's a piece of baseboard cut roughly. It's a little bit longer than I need. And the first thing is this end is going to be beveled like we showed, and this end is going to be left square, so I'll cut the bevel just the way I like it. And I can try it multiple times if I have a problem. Then I can cut the square end to match. Let's get in a little bit closer so you can see. Get my miter back to 35 degrees. Still lined up properly. And that's just how I wanted it. So the jig works. Now let's go ahead and make the final cut. It's got to be 38 7/8 inch long. So I cut from the end here to 38 7/8. Got it marked. That'll be perfect. Bring this back to 90. Okay, here we go. So let's go back out into the RV and see if it fits, and if it does, then I'll finish off the end nicely and I'll get it painted, filled and painted, and then we can put it in. For the interior baseboard trim in the RV, I've got inside corners and outside corners, and I've put the trim for the inside corners and the outside corners all the way to the floor. And the outside corners, I'm just angling the edge of this so it'll fit against the outside corner and just taper into it. So that's nice. But for the inside corners, I used this quarter round. And the trouble with the quarter round is that there's just no way it fits with the trim. I'd have to really go to a lot of trouble to shape this end. So instead, I'm going from 3/4 inch quarter round to 3/4 inch square. And what I've got to do, though, is I've got to route the edge, the corner that's going to be sticking out into the RV so I don't have a sharp edge there. Pulled out my 3/8 inch router, round over bit. And this is my router table. I built it attached to my table saw about 1.5 years ago. And I don't use it real often, but I use it often enough that I'm really glad to have it. It's a lot safer than handling a big router by hand. So the first thing I need to do is take the router bit off. And I've already unplugged the machine. So I'm going to pull it up. I got to pull it up quite a bit so that I can get to the nut below. That should be enough. And here's the 3/8 inch round over. Put that in, tighten it down by hand, and then I'll tighten it with wrenches. I don't like the idea of a router bit flying off. I had it happen once, so I tightened it pretty well. So that seemed to do the trick. 2 feather boards. Guess you can't have too many of them. It worked. I'm satisfied. So the next thing I'm going to do is prime and paint. The outside corners are this. I think it's plastic. It might be wood, but it's not very thick. It goes around the corner, and then I've just cut my floor molding to taper down. It's a 35-degree angle, and tapers down to the same thickness as the outside corner molding. And then that means on the inside, I just have to do a butt joint. So that'll be really easy to do throughout the whole RV. There we go. So I'll be putting that all the way around the base, and then I'll do something else for the ceiling molding. So this hole right here used to be where the air conditioner came in, pardon me, the heater came in. So the heater unit sat on the floor right here, and that was where it exhausted out. There used to be a dinette here, and we're not going to have the dinette, so I'm going to install the propane heater under the floor in one of the basement sections and have it come up through a floor vent. So rather than just seal this up, I decided to make a little window because we do have dogs, and the dogs are going to be with us on some of our trips anyway. So I just made the windows out of a piece of plexiglass, and I painted the edge to make it look like it was actually a piece of trim around it. It was easier than putting trim in. And there's an outside window already attached, and this is going to be the inside window. I want to make the molding cut right up to this, so it's just going to screw in to the frame here. And I'll just put one screw in for now. So now I can get the measurement I need, because I'm going to run the trim from there to here, and that looks like it's going to be pretty close to 52 inches, maybe a 1/16 less, so 52 inches. And I want to cut the molding, so I traced the trim so I can cut the molding so it'll just loop right around here. So we're going to go in the shop. I'll go in the shop and make that cut and come back out, and we'll put that piece in. So here's the cut. So I use that template, cut the curve, and I came out and tried to fit it and had to make a little adjustment to it using my using a sander, just a cylindrical sander to make it just right. But it fits perfectly now. So let's get her in. Nothing's flat in this thing. There. So I got that piece in, and that looks really nice. So I'll measure for the other side. So let's go over there. Bring the light over. It'll be the same deal. I'll measure from up there all the way to here, and then I'll sketch that template in. So I got it cut. It looks like it fits good enough. Could be better, but I don't think it really matters. So I'm just gonna There. Here's the right front passenger side. So I've got trim I'm going to put in there. And similar to the other side, it's going to go all the way back. And I've just tapered it where it's going to fit into the door here, door frame here. And then I'll just throw a couple of nails in it for now, and I'll fill in the rest of the nails later. It's starting to look nice though. It's kind of fun while I'm waiting for the brake parts to have a little time to do this. There, that's good for now. This is where I put the refrigerator, and I just have a regular like apartment sized refrigerator. We took out the old propane one, got rid of it. Not even sure it worked. And then I put it up on the shelf, and I built a drawer, which I just took out because I had never finished the trim for the drawer to fit in there. So I've made this piece. It's got a little lap joint built in because the way this worked, I had to make this drawer stick out a little further than this drawer just because of the way that wall was built originally, because this had been a closet. I'm going to go ahead and nail this in here. I'll come back and fill all the holes later. Pretty sturdy. Now I can put the drawer back in. I started on this because with the drawers all along here, this is the kitchen area, the drawers are kind of low, so it's hard to, won't be able to use the same floor molding I was using elsewhere. So I'm going to have to use 3/4 quarter round here. Now this drawer here, there wasn't enough room. So I'm going to have to change the height of these rails just a little bit. Lift the drawer up about 1/2 inch, and there's room for it to do that. I'll just have to change the latch. Then I can repaint all this stuff and have the drawer high enough that I'll be able to put the quarter round there. And then if you look further down, there's the rest of the kitchen, and those are all high enough that I'll be able to put the 3/4 inch quarter round in there. That'll be just fine. So I'm continuing switching out my corner 3/4 round molding with square molding in the corners to make it easier to do the baseboard molding. So here we go. Another piece done. And here's the trim down on the left side of the bed along the backboard. That's all nice and snug. So we're still in the bedroom, and I'm just putting in the floor molding. It's already been cut, measured, checked. Perfect. Then I've cut this piece. There. And I cut one more piece of molding. This is the right side of the bed on the floor. So I've already got this piece cut and checked. So I'm just going to nail it in. There. So that's this bit of trim right here I just did. And here's my 12 volt breaker set for the whole interior that I redid. That's pretty nice. So it's all looking good now. A little bit more to do. This is the wall between the hallway and the bathroom. And I had to cut in some access panels to get at the plumbing for the shower because I had to redo all that a while back. And so these are just nailed with my brad nailer in place because I'm not expecting to have to get in there very often. But it's just the common wall between the bathroom and the hallway there. So if I need to get at that plumbing, I can. My wife has been dealing with the wallpaper back here, and she's had a heck of a time. She kept buying this pre-sticky, you peel off and press on wallpaper, and after a few weeks it would just start unpeeling. So she finally got some textured wallpaper, which is this, and she put it on with regular wallpaper paste and then painted over it. So it's been holding up pretty well. And so I'm just going to start putting continue putting some of the trim pieces back on that I had to take off when she redid it. The other place I've put an access panel is here. This is the very back end of the RV, and this is where the wiring for the backup cameras and some of the other wiring that I've had to do goes. And it's all fine, but I just want to get it covered up. But this one I'll probably have to get into, so I'm going to set this in here, and I'm going to drill it and screw it so that I can get it out fairly easily if I need to. There we go. So here's the bedroom coming in from the kitchen. So there's the kitchen, there's the refrigerator, this is the bathroom wall. We come in here and now we're in the bedroom. And it's almost done. I still got to do some trim around the ceiling. But all the shades are in. And most of the other trim is in. The baseboard trim's all there. The corner trim's in nicely. And that back corner, my wife came back in and she did some touch-up along here. So this corner trim is nice now. Looks good. And notice I've got the handles on the windows. And here's the head of the bed here. So we've got cabinets on either side. Pretty standard RV layout. But that's the bedroom. Almost done. Well, that about wraps it up. So again, if you're interested in other content on my channel, please take a look at the links in the description below. So thanks for watching. If you found this useful, please like and subscribe. Bye.